What just happened behind closed doors in Tallahassee is setting off alarms across Washington. But before we dive in, please be sure to comment, like, and share this video to support Explain America. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Now to the breaking news. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche just finished a 5-hour meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell. And what happened inside is already shaking the political establishment. Now Maxwell's lawyer, David Marcus, said she answered every single question thrown at her by the DOJ. She never took the fifth, never claimed privilege, and never dodged, according to her lawyer. Quote, she answered all the questions truthfully, honestly, and to the best of her ability, unquote, Marcus told reporters outside the courthouse. Now the meeting, it's going to continue Friday. Why does that matter? Because this is no ordinary DOJ sit-down.
Usually when someone is a key witness in the prosecution of a third party, the defense can also go to a court and ask for a reduction based on new evidence, but we haven't seen that. She was convicted and given 20 years. And so the question is, if there's something there, why haven't they revealed it so far? The third possibility is a commutation, more likely than a pardon, from the president maybe at the end of his term, if she is a highly cooperative witness. So all of those are possibilities for Maxwell. The question is what she has. I was surprised in speaking with a member of the legal defense team a couple days ago when they said that reports that she had been previously interviewed by federal and state prosecutors, investigators, was not true.
What?
That she had never been interviewed. Yes, and despite all of these past investigations in this scandal, I was really taken aback by that. So if that's true, she could be an untapped source of new information.
Maxwell is currently serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking minors for Jeffrey Epstein. Now, you might remember that Epstein was found guilty of soliciting prostitution across state lines. So who were the clients? That's what we're trying to find out. So now she's actively cooperating with the same Justice Department that's facing growing public pressure to release the Epstein files. This comes days after House Republicans voted to subpoena Maxwell, the Clintons, James Comey, Eric Holder, Loretta Lynch, Merrick Garland, Robert Mueller, Jeff Sessions, and others connected to Epstein-era decision-making. And it comes as reports surface that the DOJ is sitting on 100,000 pages of sealed Epstein-related documents. Now that comes according to the New York Times, which, last time I checked, still has Pulitzers for the Russia hoax, so let's not hold our breath about the scope of it. But Pam Bondi did suggest that there were reams and reams of documents that were being held by the SDNY. So the FBI could have been playing some games, hiding documents, destroying documents. It's hard to say, but we do hope to get our hands on some evidence in the future, hopefully before people just lose attention on this story. Not us, of course, but the rest of the public. Because the Democrats and the corporate media, they believe they can use this as a weapon against Trump. So it's completely ridiculous. Some of the stories are cooking up, like the birthday card story. And it's just desperate. They're trying to pivot and try to pin this on Trump. But we don't know what's in those documents. It could be that his name is mentioned several times, like the Wall Street Journal reported, but in what context? Jeffrey Epstein targeted Bill Clinton, targeted Leon Black and Leon Botstein and all sorts of celebrities in Hollywood, and had them even on his plane. If you look at the flight manifest, and some flew out to his island even, and who knows what happened there. So we don't know the context. We know that Trump didn't go to the island, almost for sure. His name's not in the flight manifest. And we know that there's a timeline where he not only threw him out of Mar-a-Lago, it cooperated with the victim's lawyers, and then his DOJ wound up arresting Epstein and arresting Ghislaine Maxwell. So Trump is not Epstein's buddy. Okay, this is a complete media myth, and we're here to shut it down and Explain America with your help, because we're not sure who believes that Trump and Epstein are somehow connected with his victims operation. If that information was in the files, you can almost certainly be sure that that information would have come out. Well, there's the mutually assured destruction argument where, well, they have compromising information on each other, so nobody's going to make a move. Well, here's the problem with that. Trump's DOJ arrested Epstein. Trump's DOJ arrested Maxwell. Would somebody who is compromised by Epstein do this? No. So it doesn't make any sense. Also, we know Epstein died under highly suspicious circumstances. The DOJ has resisted releasing all of the information about this for years. Even the new video footage they released is suspect, to say the least. There's missing time in there, according to various reports, and Pam Bondi's tried to explain this away, but forensic evidence suggests it's been doctored to some extent, so it's not raw footage. So what happens now? Well, Ghislaine Maxwell may hold a big key. As we know, Epstein's attorney Roy Black recently passed away at the age of 80. He would be somebody else who knows a lot about Epstein and the victims and the clients. Obviously, as his defense attorney, one of the most powerful and influential in the country in his day, he would know a lot about it. Virginia Giuffre obviously came forward multiple times, said that she was not suicidal. Well, after a very suspicious accident, months later, she committed suicide earlier this year, according to reports. We don't just take those at face value, right? But the big question, will the Justice Department finally release the truth that Epstein's victims and the American people have been demanding for years, and that's the little black book. And Ghislaine Maxwell, she may have the little black book in her head. So let's see what happens with this, if there's a pardon dangled for her to give us the information, because the truth, we need that above everything else in order to get justice in this case. And we need to do what we need to do, because some of these clients that are implicated with Epstein's operation, again, soliciting and engaging in a prostitution ring across state lines, there are victims involved here, and there are clients also. So, by implication, with his prosecution. So, please weigh in with your thoughts. This is a very important, serious, and complicated story, and we want to hear from you.